Dawson, do you notice anything different about me?
You aren't... No, I don't notice anything different.
Really? Nothing at all?
Am I supposed to? Is this a test? Am I passing?
Yes, yes, and no.
So I'm not passing.
Not a flying color in sight.
Oh. Can I retake it?
Normally I would say no, but I'm in a good mood today, so sure. Take some shots in the dark.
Can I take some time to think about it?
You have until after the intro is done.
When does that start?
Right now.
Your hair. Your outfit. Your favorite movie.
No, no, and no.
Was it something you stepped on?
Why would it? No.
Your financial status. You dropped a tax bracket.
Okay, tax season is a difficult time for a lot of people. You really can't tell what's different? Nothing makes me seem a tad older, more mature.
You bought a snake.
Oh my god, Dawson, no, I didn't buy a snake. It's my birthday today.
No, it's not.
What do you mean, no, it's not? Are you saying I'm wrong about when my own birthday is?
I'm saying that it can't be your birthday today because it's my birthday today.
I thought your birthday was September 8th.
Nope, it changed. March 13th, 2024.
Cut to the first segment. I need time to process this.
Intro, Smintro, what's up? I'm Seth. I don't deal drugs. Whatever. Okay. Let's get into this week's topic of conversation. I have 3 masters in this world. Not like master's degrees, but things that have complete dominance over me. And those things are historical fiction about utopias that fell to ruin, a well-dressed white guy with glasses losing his mind over a slightly obscure subject, and the 2016 video game Uncharted 4: Thief's End. So, on the principle of playing to my strengths, I'm going to summarize the glorified Ponzi scheme that was the fictional pirate colony of Libertalia. Stop laughing, this is serious. So, the story starts way back in the ancient, ye olden time of 1695, with pirate captain Henry Avery leading one of the largest heists in history, known as the Gunsway heist. In it, Avery and his crew, at least in the game that this was made off with $400 million in jewels and gold. Avery then faked his death and then enacted his grand plan. He constructed a series of elaborate greed tests in the Scottish Highlands, funded with his treasure, of course, and then set out invitations to other pirates, inviting them to come with all of their money for the riches of paradise. These invitations were sent out via crosses depicting Saint Dismas, the penitent, or for those that don't understand that word, good thieves, which Avery saw himself as. After this, Avery partnered with 11 other pirate captains that I am not going to name, and then set about establishing a secret colony on a small island in the Indian Ocean, creating more tests to make sure those that joined the colony were worthy of it. Now I'm not sure how you do all that in secret, but who am I to judge? Maybe it was easier because the internet didn't exist. Who knows? In any case, Libertalia would thrive for some time, but like I mentioned, this was basically the pirate equivalent of a giant scam. Avery and all the founders stole all these pirates' treasure, which, remember, started at 400 million-ish, so is now probably well over $1 billion. However, I guess there's no honor among thieves because this sparked a rebellion that the founders just barely ended up winning. But after that, in a twist that absolutely no one was surprised by, the pirate captains then turned on each other. Avery and his best pal Thomas Tew then poisoned them all at a dinner. And after that, Avery and Tew turned on each other, and Avery built a series of tunnels leading to his ship where the remaining treasure was. Armed these tunnels with explosive mummies for some reason, and then tried to make his escape as Tew chased him. They then killed each other in a sword duel that, in my headcanon at least, was really about them both not wanting to admit that they were gay for each other. Anyway, this made for a pretty good video game about why you shouldn't lie to your wife and why being middle class is truly a soul-sucking endeavor. No, I am not joking. It is my favorite game. Bye.
So, Rosemary, you want to explain to me why you're trying to steal my birthday?
I didn't steal your birthday. You can't just steal birthdays. I was just also born today. You do understand that millions of people are born on the same day, right? I need you to know that, for my sake.
Yeah, right. Next thing you're going to tell me is that pigs can fly.
Okay, if March 13th truly is your birthday, then where were you born?
Right here in Muncie.
Ew, gross. A mokel.
Weren't you also born in Muncie?
That's not the point. Wait, you're right, I was.
It's a weird coincidence.
Okay, where in Muncie were you born?
Same time. 3, 2, 1.
Edith Barretto, Stephen Parsons, 1937 Frog Baby Statue on the campus of Ball State University. Whoa.
I never knew who my parents were. I think they were like international spies or something, or they just didn't want to have kids. But the people that found me on the side of the road as a baby said they left something to remember them by.
A remote.
Are you trying to steal my identity?
No, but I think we have some things to talk about.
Right. Let's cut to the next segment while we compare notes. Okay. After some much-needed deliberation, I think we've settled on what happened to us as infants and our relationship to one another.
We're fraternal twins that were separated at birth.
I was going to say clones, but yours makes more sense.
Dawson, we just went over this. We're not clones. We can barely do that with goats. I know you like Jurassic Park, but it's not possible. We were separated at birth and then adopted by different people.
Well, I was actually raised by snakes.
Okay, so what? I was raised by traveling public speakers.
So you weren't adopted?
No, we both were, just by very odd groups. Wait, how did you go from being left at a fire station to being raised by snakes?
They sacrificed me to a snake pit in order to appease a fire god. Didn't work, but at least I got a family out of it.
You know what? I'm not going to touch on that one. You just stay golden, snake boy.
I sure will. But, Rosemary, I do have a question for you.
What's up, Dawson?
You wouldn't happen to have a torn-in-half photo of your dad, would you?
I think I do. Hold on. Cut to segment 3 while I get it.
This last week, not only have I been catching up on all the tea of the bracket ranks of March Madness for both the men and women, but I've also been keeping up with the season finale of Love is Blind, the reunion episode that was released on Netflix, as well as the Taylor Swift Eras Tour that was released on Disney+. When watching the Love is Blind reunion episode, I thought I wasn't going to be a fan of how they changed it up this year, but with all the drama that was in this episode and the new tea that was shared since the filming ended, I thought this year's season finale was almost as good as the season 2 reunion. Then, being able to watch the Eras Tour, I finally got to see what all the excitement was about. Don't get me wrong, I like her music, but I definitely wouldn't pay all that money to go see her in person. But watching the concert from the comfort of my bed and on my TV definitely made it worth the wait to see it.
Is that
No way.
our dads? Are Sean and Josh?
It's all coming together. It all makes so much sense now. Why I struggle to log into websites easily or have this urge to grow a mullet. And Dawson, this explains why you take selfies exclusively with Duckface and have always craved owning an unopened copy of the first Cars movie on Blu-ray. Or why both of us felt drawn to working on this show. It's because...
It's in our blood. It always has been. You're right, Rosemary. Being in the real deal isn't a choice. It's destiny, ordained by the snake god Kukulkan himself. The real deal isn't just a club at Ball State. It's a religious monarchy that serves the ancient Mayan gods, awaiting their return to destroy this earth on December 21st of 2012. Rosemary, do you know what this means?
You like snakes.
That I really like snakes.
Since my birthday, I've been feeling a little bit ancient. But I've decided to embrace it, seeing as getting older feels like the lesser evil between that and becoming one of those moms. probably named Debbie, that celebrates her 35th birthday for the 15th year in a row. I don't envy that crippling shame that comes with aging, but what I do envy is that Debbie was a teen in the 80s, whether or not she would ever admit that. But that means that she got to experience 80s music as a teenager, and that's something I've always wished I could do. Lately, I've been back in my 80s music phase, the one that originally began when I found out that my 5th grade crush liked 80s music, so I would very obnoxiously, but beautifully, harmonize with Karma Chameleon by Boy George over and over again just so he knew I liked 80s music too. It never worked. But to the point, here are the songs I've been listening to on repeat for the past couple of months. Flag of Convenience, What in the Name of Love, and When the Lights Go Out, all by The Naked Eyes, as well as Sowing the Seeds of Love by Tears for Fears. I really just can't help but feel like I'm the main character in an 80s movie when these songs are blasting in my headphones. You honestly can't convince me I'm not. I'm sure one day it'll come full circle and all of our children will be picturing their main character moments while walking around listening to nostalgic songs that make them think they were born in the wrong generation. Like WAP. And now that I think about it, how could I be born in the wrong generation when Dance Monkey exists in this one? I think I should just live more in the moment, but you all should live in the past and give my 80s Rex a listen, and I will see you next week. Bye.
Good afternoon, morning, or evening to you all. Previously on Snake News, I brought you information on snakes, snake-related policies, and international serpent conspiracies. Today on Snake News, I'd like to speak a little on worms, snakes' smaller, slimier cousins. Worms were discovered in 1837 by Socrates of Athens by accident while he was digging a really deep hole with his friends. Unlike snakes, worms can reach lengths of dozens of kilometers, with the largest worm ever being the core of the earth itself. If I were a worm, would you still love me? Worms don't like the sun. They hate it so much, in fact, that the Wormoid Anti-Sun Projects Society, or WASPs, have launched an initiative to smite the sun via an Archimedes death ray. Worms don't always drink beer, but when they do, they drink Dos Equis. Worms were responsible for the introduction of pig physics to popular video game Fortnite. Many people believe that the sandworms from Dune are worms. This misconception spread due to the word worm being in the name. However, they are not worms. They are actually a type of fish. Worm President Jonathan A. Wormington is currently in the process of suing Frank Herbert, author of Dune, for defamation. However, he is dead. Worms famously eat apples, but they also appreciate peaches, pears, bananas, and pomegranate, but despise citrus fruit due to their acidic nature. Worms say no to drugs. The number of worm-related deaths has risen by 15% in the past year due to the popular TikTok challenge dubbed the Worm Sandwich. This has been Snake News. Return next week for more snake-related or non-snake-related worm information. I have been Dawson, signing out. Have a nice snake.